It was perfect. I was just kind of looking over here. John was talking about how, he was bragging that earlier that he had already finished some of his comics from last week and he already filed them in his awesome filing cabinet. And on Instagram, he posted that he has filing cards to, make sure that all of his stuff is organized so nicely. Just, I feel like that's metaphorically grabbing my face and just rubbing it down because
we sell those, Tom. You could get your own dividers.
I know, because I'll give people a little taste of my filing, and that's what it looks like.
Yes.
So no, I have some filing to do as well. Got to still figure out my system. I've been working on it since I started.
We do sell them, though. You should get some, man.
But that was a good minute to win it. Okay, so what do you know? We're talking about, how do you guys file? Let us know. I want to know. Are you filing your books away? Do you file them chronologically? Are you like John? Can you find the time and the will to file them in a good way that you can find them later? Or are you like me, never able to find a book after the initial purchase?
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, you guys marinate on that thought. Hit us up in the comments. Let us know. We're going to open this bad boy up and we're just going to get right into it. And we got stuff to talk about tonight. Books and glorious things. So looking forward to it. But per tradition, I can only give the slightest best drum roll I can on my glass desk. So, hey everybody, it's a comic book look. It's your boy John on Demand, aka Sleepy Hollow with this emo haircut. We got Tom Devine, co-CEO, aka the Midwest Highlander. There can only be one. We are a comic book look, you guys, happily and proudly sponsored by Rainbow Comics, both in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, on 42nd in Minnesota, as well as Lincoln, Nebraska, our sister store. So a lot of awesome stuff is going on at the location right now. But first, I just have to open it up to Tom. How are you?
I'm good, John, and it's good to see you on this comic book day.
Comic Book Sabbath.
And we didn't get to hang out last week, so it's good to catch up with my homie.
What's up with that, Tom? What's up with that?
Sometimes old Tom just loses a day.
And you mentioned old, and there was something that came up here actually today. I had a visitor at the comic book store. So if you're asking me what amazing t-shirt is this that I'm wearing,
Skylar Bulk shower beer. You think I don't recognize that?
Yes.
Boy, Sky, I miss you, Skylar.
So Skylar Books, for you guys, he was a part of the Comic Book Look family, still is. He did a ton of our video editing way back in the day. He came in tonight. We got to visit for a little bit and got us, Ken and I, some sweet t-shirts from Sky. So very excited about that. In the comments, I am going to throw a link to his Facebook page. Get familiar with him, local comedy. And we had this conversation about, is it a comedian or is it a comic? And he was like, it could be either. But just such a great guy, you guys. That's the link to his Facebook page. And he has a show coming up in Laverne, Minnesota, coming up this Friday, which is pretty awesome. So always on the grind, and he's just such a good soul. So wanted to represent and rock my shower beer t-shirt. So very excited about that. Ken got one too. He was like, yeah. So
that's sick, dude. Yeah, Skylar's the man. He's so funny. We knew he was funny back then. He's super funny now. I got the pleasure of seeing him last Friday for a packed house in T, and it was roaring. And he crushed it. He had his jokes delivered. He felt so comfortable and natural up there. So cool to see Sky crush it. So if you guys get a chance to go see him in Laverne this weekend, it is a perfect fun time, man.
Couple of things at the shop that are happening I just wanted to highlight really quick. On the Rainbow Comics Facebook page, I made 2 events. So coming up on March 16th, Wednesday, Garrett Gunn and Christina Blanche, the co-writers of Good Boy, are going to be at Rainbow Comics to do a signing event.
Garrett Gunn is coming back?
He's coming back, baby.
Yes.
So he will be here 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the store. So bring your copies. They'll also have some other goodies there for purchase to get signed. And just such a great guy. And I hear Christina Blanche is a hoot. So I'm looking forward to meeting her as well. So yeah, more to come on that, but just go ahead and if you're on Facebook, you're tuning into us on Facebook now, go check out that event. Say you're interested in it or say you're going, just so that way you get the reminders. The other thing that's coming up way on the horizon, Free Comic Book Day is on the horizon, first Saturday in May, which is really exciting. So we're going to have a lot of the cosplay groups, there for photo ops and to have fun. And then we'll, of course, have the free books, which is awesome. We are going to be doing a sale in the store, but details are to come on that. So we're still reviewing that as a team. So more to come there, but it should be pretty awesome. So
yeah, just an outsider's perspective. We do love at least that, half off those books if possible. So, understand if you can't, but we would love to see it again. That's real big. So.
But yeah, we're so excited, dude. So there's just a lot to look forward to coming up. And, this week was a really big week. We had a lot of our customers that normally come throughout the day all right there at 10. We opened the door, boom, like 10 people right away. I was like, oh, like this is awesome. And so it was just really cool to see the excitement about the books this week, which we're totally going to talk about. But yeah, so that's kind of the happenings, I guess, from our side of the world. From a comic book look side of the world, Tom has been a busy little bee. We actually have a new logo that will be coming up. So coming up on future episodes, you're going to see that highlighted in the backgrounds, and other stuff probably will rock out our page with it. So we're looking forward to that. It is sharp, it is fun, and we just wanted to take the show in kind of a fun direction with it. So looking forward to that. Maybe some t-shirts, I don't know. I love my swag. But yeah, more to come on that. I see that we have a James in the comments. Good evening, gents. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you as well. 2022. And it's off to a great start, and I hope you're having a good one as well. So I can't believe it's already January 19th. It feels like we just turned the calendar over, but we're already 19 days in. Ooh, that's crazy. That's crazy to me.
Dude, time flies when you're having fun, yo.
Yes. Woo! So, you guys, it's cold outside here in South Dakota, but the wall is hot today. We had a lot of books to talk about. Before we jump into that, Tom, did you have anything on your side or anything?
Shit, no, let's get into these books, boy.
That's awesome. Awesome. I'm going to have you go first. I've been talking way too much, so.
Oh, but John, we all love to hear you talk. And ever since you mentioned your emo haircut, it's just like, I love it so much.
That's right. I got to dye it black and listen to Fall Out Boy, Panic at the Disco.
Right. John says I have been a busy boy, and I have been because it's January is it's the month that I don't have that much going on. And even though one of my daughters is in a play and my other daughter is in a play and in basketball, and my son's in basketball, so I do have some stuff going. I personally don't at work, and I usually get a little bit more time. And in turn, I get to read a whole bunch of comic books. And so I've been catching up like crazy. And even tonight, I read almost every single book that I already bought today. So I have been busting all the way through. And so I'd love to start talking about some of those books. And we're going to start with one that John Nordstrom put in my pile. He throws in these odd books that, I don't know anything about. He knows I like the obscure. He knows I like the things that I want to try. I like to try out new things from
he just knows.
Sort of. Yes, exactly. So sometimes those books are awesome, and I'm so thankful. And then sometimes they are major stinkers, like Kerplunk.
Oh no!
And that's what we got this week.
No.
I don't mean to bash on this, but we got White River Monster. It says, if you like Chakuthu, whatever that dude is, the
right, Cthulhu.
You're gonna love this. I mean, I don't know about that. The only part of that we get to see this monster at all is right here, and it's like through some device, so you don't even really see what's going on here.
Yeah.
It is clearly, I like it because it's indie. I like that, these are some people who are just throwing this thing together. They don't have tons of experience. Sometimes the lettering's fucked up. Sometimes like it doesn't always flow great. The art isn't the best. But you know what? I gave it a shot. I gave it my read. And there's sometimes I can't get through the book. Yeah. But I was able to get all the way through the book, and I made it through. And when it was over, I was like, yeah, not going to be looking for issue number 2 of this. So yeah, White River Monster, that was the first book. I'd give it a 2 out of 6 beers.
Oh, that's generous. Did you see we got a Bill in the comments here. Bill from Comic Book Bears. As we say on Comic Book Bears, it cut off here. It looks like a little bit, but it's actually La Bamba, is what Bill says. La Bamba.
La Bamba.
Oh, yeah, with more gusto though, Tom. More gusto. More Bill.
La Bamba.
All right, that's getting there. I don't know. Well, we need to we'll have to see if we can get you on the Bears with Bill and Steve so that you guys can have a La Bamba off.
Ooh, they'll crush me.
That's awesome. Well, I'm sorry. What a painful way to start the episode.
Painful. That's what I love to do as a comic book journalist, as a comic book.
That's right. It is our responsibility.
Yeah, it is our responsibility. I'm the one who goes out and finds this stuff, guys. Hey, I made it all the way through. If without me, you probably never even heard of this book. But you know what? You might even check it out when you see it in the dollar bin a couple months from now, because it didn't get sold right away on Wednesday. You can snake it up. Why the hell not? You can be like, oh yeah, Comic Book Look talked about this shitty book. Let me check it out.
Well, my first read was also a John Nordstrom mention or nod, and he said you might want to scoop it up. Nice. And I said, are you sure? And he was like, yes, and here's why. So I'm going to show you the why as well. But we're talking, this is so indie for me. So indie. Defenders from Marvel, issue 5. But it's indie for me because I'm not reading Defenders normally. But the reason is that there's a sweet Eternity page. So like Eternity makes a cameo. Eternity is my boy. Yes. Galactus Eternity and me, we hang out, we drink beer all the time and talk about the galactic stuff.
We can see him right above your head.
Right, he's looming. He's always looming. And I thought it was beautiful. My policy with Eternity is if he's in the book or the cover, I gotta have it because we don't see him enough. We really don't. It's a character that I'm just passionate about. So I'm like, yeah, okay, let's do it. So I haven't read it yet or anything. I don't have a review, which is the other thing before we hop to Tom's next book. I am on Instagram now, you guys, and that's where all my comic books are reviewing. So you can find me at John on Demand altogether. John on Demand altogether. And you'll see my reviews. They've been mostly positive. I had one tanker as well. And I imagine I might have a couple more flat tires coming up. So
it happens, and guess what, baby? I still love getting a flat tire every once in a while. Just means that I'm at least trying out books that are going to push the boundaries. Oh,
whoa! I've been loving Defenders, says Bill. Definitely a few nods to the more LSD drenched issues of the '70s Defenders, dude. Come on, man, that artwork and everything. And if that's true, Bill, it sounds like I need to check out issues 1 through 4. Is that a fair statement?
Exactly.
Because I think it is. I don't know. I think Bill's recommending this one for me. And Bill never lets me down, you guys, just for the record. So usually I just run with that.
Defenders is old school. It's Marvel fun. I mean, it's, exactly like he said. Yeah. Strangle fun, man. All right.
Okay. Bill's recommended it. Okay.
I'm a little Marvel boy myself, John. We don't think so? Okay. Oh,
whoa! What?
Number 1.
I didn't even get that cover.
Of course you. Oh, that cover is dope. Scotty Young cover. That's great.
I haven't read it yet, though. Did you read it?
Yeah, I read it. Yeah.
Without spoilers, what's the situation?
Oh, I mean, so we got Jennifer starting over. She's kind of getting past. This is a new, fresh start. It's a new number 1. She's starting at a new lawyer firm. She's trying to get a new place. Yeah. She's getting her life back in order. And it is not, there wasn't like the world wasn't ending. Nothing was super gravitas. It was just a nice book that you get to spin with this character that we all like. She's so likable. And then it's just like a slice of life book. At the end, Jack of Hearts shows up, and then I won't spoil why or what's happening with it. So it's not like there's no superheroes. It's not like it's just her, going to be a lawyer at work. There is more of a story, to it, but it's small enough that it's quaint and it was fun. It was like, there was nothing here that blew me away. But there was nothing here that drove me away. It totally made me want to just kind of live in this She-Hulk world. I think when you read it, I think you'll like it too. I assume you would. Maybe you won't, but I mean, there's nothing that's going to like. Yeah, it's just so likable. I would say is my review.
Yeah. Aaron Evans swinging through some She-Hulk love. I bought 2 of the covers. I couldn't help myself.
Tisk, Aaron. How many times have I told you?
Well, he gets a discount on his shop, though. Bill's weighing in really quick on the Defenders one, and this was actually a really good call out. Probably the only book that has worked from stuff mentioned in Marvel Comics issue 1000, which is fair. So, Bill, correct me if I'm wrong, but are we talking about the like glittering headdress on the cover? Because I think I do remember that being present. I can't remember the character name that surrounds it or anything. And it really was just left as this is a pertinent thing coming up. And no one's really said anything since then. So that's a really good call out. I cannot remember the character name, though. But I know it has like a Western history and just kind of floated around the years and had different wares or something of it. I don't remember what it was, though. But
yeah, I didn't read that Marvel comic.
That was a while back, too. Yeah. So... yeah, Bill, excellent call out. If that's what you're referring to. I think that's what you're referring to. So. What do I got next here? Death of Doctor Strange, R.I.P.
He died?
Oh, man. Yeah, it's everywhere. It's all over.
I'm just kidding. I bought the Blade book. Remember, I'm a little Marvel boy. I know all about it.
Dude, it was in the Argus Leader. Come on. Like, all right. The Death of Doctor Strange. This is the X-Men Black Knight one-shot. I am getting this because I liked the other Death of Doctor Strange's and Black Knight. We just need to get familiar. That cutscene at the end of Eternals, # spoiler. Get familiar. It's going to be a good situation. People, it's on Disney Plus already. It's been in theaters. If you haven't,
it's not a spoiler. If you are watching this show and me, the Marvel movie hater, has already seen it like twice, come on.
Which I heard you liked it.
You're at fault.
I heard you liked it.
I kind of did. I mean, I didn't hate it. It's just so much gold. There's a lot of gold power, Everybody's manipulating
platinum. Let's get some platinum.
Yeah, throw some platinum in there.
Some silver. Bill says I hit it.
Yeah.
Marvel PhD, baby.
Exactly. I mean, this is why we went to comic book, school. And it's called.
Did you say we went to comic book college? But
that's right.
Aaron wasn't there when we enrolled, because that's where you went. I'm just kidding. It's your turn.
Aaron, you're cool. You have a cool shop. We missed you. Good to see you. Good to hear from you, though, homie.
And come to Sioux Falls.
Yes, and come to Sioux Falls.
Yes.
All right. Is you up or am I up now?
I think you're up.
Okay. I got A Righteous Thirst for Vengeance. This is Rick Remender's book. It's a crime book. It's decompressed. So, like, when it comes together, it is going to be an action-packed. This thing flies by. You end up finishing the book in like 9 minutes. You have to go back because you just went too fast because it's so exciting at every single page. Car chases and escapes and deaths and assassinations and, the dark web and all sorts of stuff put together. Loving it. I already read this issue 6 out of 6. Yeah, loving it.
At first, I really thought you were just talking about my to and from work with that description. I felt a calling.
Yeah, exactly. I know it's a gauntlet. You're just constantly. You're like Neo in the Matrix.
Whoa! Did you see this? Planning on coming to SuperCon this year. What?
All right, Aaron.
Amazing news, Aaron. Yes, you should. That's awesome. Very good. You will definitely see Tom and I because we were both working at SuperCon. So
we'll hang out the whole time, Aaron, if you're in town. So yeah, if you come to town, we'll all get dinner for sure. That would be so much fun.
Yes, that would be amazing. Bill, you too. Come to Sioux Falls. Okay.
Yeah, Bill. Please, New 51.
From Marvel as well. A hot cover, and I don't know what the deal is with like speculators and all this with this. Strange Academy 15. This was one of the books we had a 1 per person limit on the book just to make sure we had it. I don't know what's going on, if it's premiering something, if it's something about the cover or what. I don't really pay attention to a lot of that stuff yet. Aaron, actually, when we spoke last night, gave me some websites about how to look at, like, key comics that are coming out and why they're hot, things like that, which is really cool. So I have to dig into that and be a better cashier at the comic book store. Because I personally don't pay attention to that. Like, I read for the characters, but it is helpful to know and understand the significance,
Yeah, it is. I mean, yeah, some of the stuff pisses me off a lot, but yeah, you're right. It is. It's smart for you to know for sure. As working there, you guys should definitely know, because come Sunday, if you guys haven't sold out of issues of this book, you should be, getting them on eBay as fast as possible and get triple the price for them.
Triple the price. Holy smokes. That was my book, though.
That's sweet. All right. I got the silver coin. I think I might have missed an issue. Who knows? I don't remember. But guess what? It's all one shot, so it doesn't matter. Jump right back into it. This is about this coin throughout different parts of time and history and places, and it gives you fames, but gives you what you want, but ultimately destroys you. This one is all about corporate greed and this corporate Wall Street hedge fund guy, and he gets this rare coin collection, and this janitor gets an eye on it, and he ends up wanting it so bad he starts killing for it, and then it falls out the window, and he ends up jumping for it and jumping to his death, and people are jumping too. And I mean, this book is so cool. If you guys aren't reading this book and you like really strange one shots, if you were a fan of like Jonah Hex back in the day, that best one shot run of all time, definitely check out Silver Coin. It's really fun. Has a different writer each issue, but always the same artist. So
that's cool. Yeah. And I'm sorry, did you give a beer rating?
Ooh, I did. I think I'll give that one a 4 out of 6. Probably. Or 4 or 5. I don't remember. I already wrote it down. I could actually let me check my notes here, people. Okay.
That's not your Instagram account.
No, I keep it in my actual notes now first. 4 out of 6 I gave it.
Right on. Yeah. Up next, I have actually 2 issues. They're both Devil's Reign tie-ins. The event itself has been just a ton of fun, so I'm like, yeah, I'll rock with it. So first of all, Devil's Reign, we got the X-Men, issue 1. Emma Frost is clearly ready for South Dakota winter in this outfit. A lot of keeping it warm, I guess. I don't know. So there's that. I have no idea what the X-Men have to do with it, but technically they are in the same area. The main team is living in a tree. Near Daredevil, so there's that. So it's probably going to be a thing. The other thing, though, is this Villains for Hire, which ties into Kingpin's newly assembled, hopefully this is it, the Thunderbolts team. I don't know for sure. I just saw Rhino and I assumed. They just have villains pretending to be, it's the Thunderbolts, pretending to be the good guys again. And, Wilson Fisk, he's a standard politician. And,
I love it.
Aaron writes in about Silver Coin. I second what Tom is saying. Silver Coin is a very cool book. So, boom.
I agree. Nice. Well, sweet, man. And Daredevil, I hear from the boys at Wednesday Comics, is really good.
Yeah.
I should probably at some point check that out. But even more so, have you heard about this Tom Taylor Nightwing run?
No.
Like the last 6 or 7 issues of Nightwing.
Been crazy. I haven't read it.
It's supposed to be like the best Nightwing's ever been. I would, if you can do a little research when you get into the shop, and if you have it when Tom Taylor takes over, I would take every issue.
Okay.
Because I want to check it out. Garrett from Wednesday Comics, Garrett Waltz is like, this is the best Nightwing's been for. He doesn't even remember when. So, and I love Nightwing. I love him so much. And I'm reading the Robins right now. So I'm reading some Nightwing right now, but I'd love to get this series. Tom Taylor's so good. His Injustice was like, some of the best DC Otherworld books I've ever read in my life. So
would you say it's because you guys have the same first name?
Mm-hmm. Yes, definitely. And also because there's a Vertigo book called Unwritten, and the main character is Tom Taylor. That's actually the real reason I like him.
Gotcha.
So yeah.
Gotcha. Oh, James is bringing some wisdom. Devil's Reign X-Men developed something that started as flashbacks in Marauders, John, with a wink face, which tells me, James, that you are on top of it, and I am not.
Yeah, especially because you loved Marauders so much, John. You should be on top of it.
Sorry, guys, I let you down. I literally got home from work. We watched Book of Boba Fett, and here I am. So I haven't had a chance to read my comics or anything.
I was Book of Boba Fett.
It was good. I'm liking that show. This episode was a lot of fun. It makes me so happy to see the evil Wookiee bounty hunter. I cannot pronounce his name, Kurstan. But if we see the evil droids from Darth Vader and Dr. Aphra, I will die. With happiness.
This would be your favorite series of all time, then. I mean,
I would die because I will feel so validated.
Yeah.
Yes, like it just needs to be because they are so great. Aaron Evans swinging through here. Nightwing has been really good. The first 6 issues of Tom Taylor's run have already been collected into a hardcover.
Those are the 6 issues I want. I'd rather not have the hardcover. I'd rather take the issues. If not, I'll end up getting that hardcover. Thank you very much, Aaron.
Look at Aaron.
The last 6 issues. But yeah, I mean, so yeah, the buzz on the indicator is that is going to be a legendary series for Nightwing. So
okay, cool.
My next book is Bolero, I would pronounce it. Number 1 from Image. I went with the Jim Mahfood cover. But yeah, I'm new book. It's a real thick one, prestige format. Oh, there we go. We got another cover in the house. So yeah, we got Wyatt Kennedy and Luana Viecho. I just went for it because it's looked cool. New Image number 1. It's a thick one, and I like the guest artist on this cover, so I was like, yeah, sure, I'll grab it.
Heck yeah!
Didn't get a chance to read it yet.
Super Indian, way off the rockers here of what we've been talking about. The Eltarian War in Power Rangers has been captivating.
Wow. Yeah.
It's actually been pretty wild. And unfortunately, I hit a snag where I can't find one of the issues because it goes back and forth between Mighty Morphin and Power Rangers. And I read the first Power Rangers and then opened the next one after that. And it's like, when did these people connect? And I'm like, oh, it's got to be in the other series. And I'm like, crap, I can't find that right now. So I got to get my life together. I would show you guys my desk. It's not good, so I'm not going to. It's getting way better, I think. As you can see, if you follow my Instagram account, you'll see the books that I'm reviewing, and then eventually they get filed. I'm behind on filing too. It's a nightmare. So
yeah,
it is all good. But yeah, I'm excited about this one. So this is one book I will always get when it comes out because they are very sought after, and the artwork and writing has been great, and we just can't keep them in back stock for the life of us.
Are you talking about the Power Rangers?
Yeah.
I mean,
it's so popular.
Yeah, they're so popular. They're hitting at every point. I hear about them from other places. I never thought that this book that John's been watched every Power Rangers, has always got Power Rangers since we've been friends, is now this super popular book that is like, it's just so wild to me. Wins awards, everybody loves it. It splits into 2 books. It's like, okay, man. God damn, dude. Power Rangers got some heels, got some legs.
Regarding that hardcover, James just says that Aaron, beautiful hardcover, by the way. Yep. So that's cool. That's awesome.
All right, next up, I got Oswald's Body number 3. The first one started good. I haven't read the second one. It's right on my next to-do list pile from back issues. So that's why I haven't read this. But the first one was great. It was a band, getting the band together for some sort of, plan to have a second Lee Harvey Oswald, and maybe the person who was buried as Lee Harvey Oswald in the assassinations of JFK wasn't him. And I don't know. It's kind of out there and weird. And this is a really fun character. But yeah, I mean, it's really cool. The getting the band together, that's like the Blues Brothers original, where it's like you have all these different people and you got to get them together one by one. You go and pick up the next person. And I love that. I no matter what, when I see it in movies, read it in books, hear it in stories, it's like, that's so much fun. It's like, yeah, gathering the Avengers, that's always the best part, So that's what we're doing here for some sort of mysterious little conspiracy. Who knows what? This guy is a new age singer, but he also is like a wheelman, and he can hotwire any car. It's great. So
that's awesome.
I haven't read this issue yet, though.
Let's see here. What do we got? Venom issue number 4.
Nice.
So Venom continues to kind of surprise and delight. New direction right now. Eddie Brock is basically MIA, supposedly dead, but we all know that Marvel advantage. It's not the case. And so his son Dylan, or son-esque figure Dylan, is getting to know the symbiote more, and it's kind of about his adventures. So it's just a little bit of a different take on a Venom thing. I don't hate it. I would say that the previous run, leading, with King in Black and all that went down, was actually pretty epic, and it's hard to follow that. So I wouldn't say that this one is terrible, but yeah.
So kind of break that down. How does that work? Did he have a son and then he gave the son the symbiote, or was he a symbiote when he was a baby?
So there's a little bit surrounding that, and I think we're going to learn a lot more about that coming up. But the son was like just in the background, and all of a sudden, oh hey, I exist, and it was just really kind of odd. But he played a huge part in the King in Black event, which was really rad, and there was a little bit of a relationship there too. But this is going to give us a lot more answers, I think, in terms of
it's still Eddie Brock is Venom though, right?
Right now it's this kiddo. So Eddie Brock, I can't ruin it, but issue 1 sets the stage for Eddie Brock for the time being. Yeah,
love it. Cool, man.
But I'm glad I picked it up.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, you're a Venom guy. You got to pick it up, dog. Come on. Yeah. I mean, is there any Venom book that you don't have at this point? Probably not. You probably got about them all.
Some of the old stuff, like, because it's really weird. Venom, Deadpool, these things that do some sort of a legacy thing, but it's not declared on the issues. But then they make this map in the back of their 100th anniversary of, oh yeah, it's this way, and it's like, how am I supposed to know that? Like, that's 20 some 4-issue runs or 6-issue runs. So there's some I'm sure I don't have. I have a good portion of them. Not all of them are great, openly, but the ongoings lately have been a lot of fun.
Nice. Well, hell yeah, man. Cool. Next up for me is Animal Castle, number 2. I read the first one, so nice.
Praise be.
So the first one here, so Animal Farm is this book. It's a extremely famous book. I mean, from George Orwell, who wrote 1984 and these other big books. This is a take on Animal Farm. It's called Animal Castle, but it's so far it seems to be kind of almost the exact same story. You have the dogs are the dogs, the sheep are the sheep. We have there's an Animal Farm. There's this like horse, this donkey that always says like work harder, keep going, work harder, and like it seems like there's like a donkey or a dog a horse that is also this character. So I feel like that's what it's a play on. So if you are a fan of Animal Farm, maybe check this out. But then at the same aspect, I was kind of like, well, maybe if you've heard of Animal Farm, but you were like, I don't think I need to read a whole entire book, maybe that's when you actually read this. Because Animal Farm's so good, you should probably just read the book first. But if you're not into reading books, read this. It ends up being an analogy for for workers and power and different levels of class systems and a look at all of that through the mirror. But these classes in Animal Castle are all based on what kind of animal you are. Are you a pig? Are you a sheep? Are you a horse? You'll have different tasks, different jobs. And we get in the first book that these guys no one's happy, right? Yeah. Everybody wants to go against the head honcho here, and they kind of leave the cliffhanger of seeing who that is. So hopefully we get a little bit more information in number 2. I'm still on board for sure. And
it was so dark, issue 1. It was so dark, and I was just like, I gotta have more. So that was one that stayed on my pull list for sure. I was very happy with it. So
good. I'm glad you were. I'm glad you were loving it.
Yeah. Let's see. Up next, I don't know. There's this little book that came out that's kind of a big deal. I'll also from Marvel Comics, we got the Silver Surfer Rebirth, and of course, I got my boy Big G on the cover. So love me some Galactus. I have no idea what's going on in this book. I haven't read it yet, but I did get the variant as well because it's a wraparound with Galactus on the back. So I was like, I can't say no to that. So those were my 2 covers. So Aaron, you're forgiven with the She-Hulk excursion because I did exactly the same thing.
Yeah, you and Aaron always are pulling this kind of crap. I mean, one day you'll
win. Stacking that really quick, this was not a new book this week, but John Nordstrom had this set aside for me. For 3 days, it was sitting behind the register, and that's Howard the Duck with Galactus, just hanging out. And he was like, "You just need this," and I'm like, "I do. Easy sale, plain dirty." So
that's funny. That's cool, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I know I am out of books that I bought this week, but I wasn't here last week, guys. So I do want to. I can still talk about some other books from last week. Why John keeps talking about his books from this week, but I wanted to first mention that next week, new Saga comes out. So make sure you're looking for Saga. This is that foreign language book that John and Ken got me, and it's amazing. But Saga comes out next Wednesday. Everybody better be hitting up their comic shop to make sure you get back on board. But for this week, let's talk about what's the furthest place from here. I don't know if anybody else is reading this book, but it is so cool. It's about these groups of kids that are being in a gang in this post-apocalyptic world, and they're all fighting because there possibly was a grown-up around, and they're all really into music, and a whole entire place burns down, and the only thing they protect are some records that they can't lose. It is awesome. It's done so well. The art is amazing. Pacing is really, really good. I'm loving this book.
Let's see. Something else I'm trying out here, and this is more of that cover shenanigans. The X Lives of Wolverine. And I got the 2 covers. I went with this Legacy one. I like that. And then I love this Peach Momoko one with the nod to all the different Wolverines. And so I was like, we'll do it. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, that's awesome. Fine. Of course, dude. Of course you did. But that is a cool. I do. Peach Momoko knows what she's doing, and Marvel's smart for getting her to do a bunch of cool things.
Yes.
Last week, Stillwater. Haven't read it yet, but can't wait. This book continues to soar. Chip Zdarsky is the man.
I'm gonna have to scoop up the next trade. I had the volume 1 that I absolutely loved. Yeah. So I will have to get my hands on the trades.
Yeah. So with issue 12 coming out, I'm sure that trade will be coming out shortly.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. So I'm ahead of the curve then. I like that. Up next, this one I think is actually from a previous week, which is interesting because I want to say I got issue 4 as well. But oh shoot, maybe I didn't. That sucks. Oh well. But Phoenix Song Echo issue 3 is from, I think it's like from a previous week, but I just really made it a priority. I wanted to get to know Echo a little bit more for her time in the Hawkeye show on Disney Plus, and she has her own upcoming series. And so it's one of those things where I just want to dig in, get familiar. So that way I kind of get maximum value out of what is portrayed in the show, just because I don't know her that well.
Yeah. So. That's sweet, man.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. I got Department of Truth continues to rock and roll. I'm still 3 issues behind, so I'll be catching up to this. But yeah, at first I wasn't a fan of the art, and I, talked about how this storytelling method of conspiracies and people believing them, it's the Santa Claus thing. The more people that believe, they become more real. It's a trope that I've seen in comics a few times, but it doesn't bother me. Tinian's crushing on this. I continue to love it, pushing, these back conspiracies, and I love conspiracies.
Heck yeah, that's awesome. All right, well, this was an impulse purchase, so I have to cover up the price tag because I was naughty. But one thing I've been really getting into, you guys, is really getting to know the horror side of Marvel. And that pertains to like the Midnight Suns and that kind of stuff. So I saw this little cutie, and it's like a shiny Blade #1 come up, and I'm really excited to just get familiar more with this. I have the complete sets of the Midnight Suns and Darkhold, the old series, as well. And then I have just a variety of small back issues that I saw in a collection that we got that I scooped up too. Hellstrom, the Prince of Lies, that kind of stuff. So just really getting to know like the evil and the darkness and those titles that really don't get as much love and time as maybe they should. And so it's just the side of the MCU I'm just digging into in preparation for like the Morbius movie coming up. Your boy is hopeful. We got Blade on the horizon. So I want to just come armed to the teeth to this party.
No doubt, dude. I mean, I have that comic. I guarantee I paid a less amount for it because I definitely got it way back in the day when I first saw that Blade movie and it was hot and I was trying to pick up all the Blade I could. And so when I first got into comics, I ended up buying every single Blade comic.
Oh, wow.
Out, even like original Tomb of Dracula, Gene Colan, and those are the ones I had to spend a pretty penny on. But I really want this Blade movie to do well because then those Gene Colan issues are going to be just fine. And that purchase that you made right there will be just fine. So I do hope for that new Blade movie.
Investments.
Exactly. I hope it crushes. Blade's one of my favorite characters, dude. I love to see that you picked up Blade #1.
Yeah. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah, dude. That's dope.
Yeah.
I got one from last week, Rain #1, Joe Hill. I'm a Joe Hill guy, so I'm gonna check it out. I haven't read it yet.
So Ken got a copy of that too. John Nordstrom had recommended it, and so I picked up the blank cover as well as I think it was the A cover for him to try out. So
of course, Stephen King's kid. Of course, Ken has to get in on it.
Up next, we have, and this is another one per the Hulk #3. This has really been a divided topic at the register today, and that's why I kind of saved it for later on in the show. Is that it's hard to follow a run like the Immortal Hulk when it's like super awesome and the story's banging, and then to completely flip the script and do something that isn't really regarding much of what happened. It's a risky thing. Donny Cates is at the helm. I get that. But I don't know. I don't know how it's going to go. So I'm going to continue to try it out. Issues 1 and 2 were a bit of a culture shock for me, just based on what I was used to seeing. So fingers crossed. I don't mean to knock it. I haven't read 3 yet, so I can't knock it yet. Maybe it'll be super good, but
it's going to suck. Just kidding. I don't know that at all.
I don't know.
And you know I love Donny Cates, so.
He loves you too.
But yeah, I don't have any more books, John.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Other than that, a couple of other ones that I'll be just giving a whirl here. Silk #1 came out, so just wanting to meet that character. This was one that you had purchased, so Happy Hill.
Oh yeah, I got that one around here somewhere.
So
I got that last week.
Looking forward to trying that out.
Here. You got it? So yes, looks like it. I got 2 other ones from last week I didn't see.
There you go.
Space Cadet and Happy Hill. Yeah. So check it
out. Ben Reilly, Spider-Man.
Nice.
And then Daredevil, the Woman Without Fear. So I actually did want to check out what Elektra's been up to and see what it's like. Oh, yeah. So I haven't read the Daredevil where Elektra assumed the mantle. I haven't read any of that, unfortunately, except for the Halloween reprint, which was good. But the Devil's Reign event has been a lot of fun. And we've seen her in there a little bit. So more to come on that. But yeah, it's kind of a heavy week. So
yeah. It's good. Yeah. It's good to have a good heavy week, just especially in January, because we got time to read, John. So
yes. Aaron's coming through here. Glad you got the wraparound cover. He's talking about Silver Surfer and Galactus because he got that exact same one and he was telling me about it. So Aaron, you are an awful influence. And then wasn't crazy about the first 2 issues of the new Hulk series either, which sucks because I really like Donny Cates. So yeah, it's really interesting because there are some people that are like, yeah, it's cool, it's new, and other people are just like, ugh. But I try at the shop, I try not to be like really negative about any book because I don't want to knock anyone's fun or anything like that. But if they ask me my opinion, then I'm gonna give it. But overall, I try to keep it Switzerland, if anything.
Yeah, and honestly, you can't. If someone's into the book, then you don't want to make them not into the book just because you are. So you definitely got to play that line. And I suppose you just got to do a really good job of saying, I didn't love that book, but if this is what you're going for, maybe these books would be more up your alley or whatever.
Yeah. So it's just, and it's not. I'm not saying my opinion's right. Obviously it is, but especially with Dark Avengers. No, it's not. Okay.
Oh man.
You would think I would learn after 10 and a half years. I would get it together. But yeah, other than that though, it's an exciting time right now, you guys. We have those happenings coming up at the shop, which is really cool. And it's a good time right now to be a nerd. It really is. TV's in our favor. Movies are in our favor. Shout out to Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, man! Big shout out to Mikey Martinez, our boy. Finished his Kickstarter, crushed it off. Remember, we had him on, and he was like, "Yeah, I hope to get 3,000." I was like, "Bro, you're thinking too small. I think you're going to get 10,000." He's like, "No way." He got almost over 10,000. So.
Yeah, it was like close to 14. So fantastic job to Mikey. But yeah, no, it's exciting for Tom and I. A lot of local cool things going on as well, including things at the shop. So we're just blessed to have an awesome community. And thank you to all of you for tuning in. Like I said, new logo on the horizon, so expect some madness surrounding that. Anything else on your side?
That's it, Johnny boy. Let's shut down.
Big T? Okay. All right. Well, you guys, we are a comic book look proudly sponsored by Rainbow Comics. If you're in the Sioux Falls area, stop by and say howdy. 42nd in Minnesota. If you're in the Lincoln, Nebraska area, we do have a store down there with a brand spanking new location. 70th and A at the Clock Tower area. And we share an entrance with the Huskers store, which is really cool. So definitely say hi to Tim and Taylor if you're in the area. They're a great team. We are on the socials as @a comic book look. On the Twitters, I am @John on Demand. On the Instagram, same thing. Which I'm on Instagram now, so definitely follow me if you haven't already. It's fun.
And on Spotify, he's on John on Demand too. Don't forget about that as well. He has sick tracks. You guys need to be all listening to this. Sometimes when we're in the family car and I hook it up, you know what I play.
Amanda tries to play it at the shop and I always shut it down. I'm like,
no, it's so good, dude.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, Tom Stu Divine on the Twitters, and your Instagram is
Tom Stu Divine.
Tom Stu Divine. You're consistent. We are great at this. But yeah, lots of comic book reviews, you guys. And if you're joining us on YouTube this evening, feel free to connect with us on Facebook in our group, A Comic Book Look, to continue the conversation. We'd love to have you. So with that, we're going to go ahead and shut it down. And you guys know the drill as always. 10 and a half years I've been saying this, and we're living it. We're going to keep it comics for sure, man. And we'll see you next week. And then I hit the stop